And we're kicking off today with WWE, and the title scene in the promotion has undergone some major changes as of late. As we saw on SmackDown, Asuka has been presented with a new Women's Championship, complete with a gold center plate on a white strap, and there's been plenty of goings-on backstage to make this happen. According to a report from Fightful Select, the decision to create the new championship for Asuka was to clean up the SmackDown Raw Championship situation that was muddied due to the draft when the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles were changed. The report adds that the title design was made to look like Roman Reigns' new championship, as they want the women's title to be on an even plane with the men's, as has been the case for years. It was also stated that Rhea Ripley's championship will be receiving some adjustment, either in name or appearance, and it's possible that her title will soon resemble Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. Speaking of Rollins, plans for his title only came together after WrestleMania 39, though Fightful reported that there were talks last year of splitting the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. There are changes coming for the women's tag team titles as well, as the NXT and WWE Women's Tag Team Gold will be unified, and for some in the company, that can't happen soon enough. Fightful's report states that when the NXT Women's Tag titles were created in 2021, many questioned why the titles were being made in the first place, and felt that there wasn't a need for the gold. As for future plans, the idea is for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles to be defended on all three brands as and when needed, and sources told Fightful that this unification would have happened sooner if not for the injuries within the tag team division. While there has been a lot of changes, Fightful reported that there has been some frustration in WWE over the use of the word undisputed, which appears on the titles of both Roman Reigns and Asuka. Many find it odd that WWE is presenting the pair as undisputed champions in their fields, considering that there is another world champion and another women's champion on WWE's main roster. One higher up in WWE said, "That's admittedly confusing. I don't know why there is an insistence on doing that, and a lot of people have brought that up and it's been dismissed. We'll have to see how things go from here, but WWE's changes to their titles may not be over yet. And what do you think to these changes? Let us know in the comments." As we mentioned, the WWE and NXT Women's Tag Team titles will soon be unified, an interesting call given that earlier this year, WWE was teasing that the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles were going to be split up. When the Usos held the titles, teams could briefly challenge for either the Raw or SmackDown Tag Team titles, but this idea hasn't been brought up on TV in a long time. When BWE was asked about plans to split the undisputed tag titles, they said that WWE is going through a tag division overhaul, but did not comment further on what this meant. All we know is that either Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler or Alba Fire and Isla Dawn will be the undisputed women's tag team champions, and we'll put our money on the UFC alum. WWE has made a lot of changes to their titles over the years, and the tag division has been no exception. And what changes would you like to see as part of this division overhaul? Next week, AEW Collision will finally premiere on TNT, and while anticipation is high for the premiere show, that excitement isn't being shared with future tapings. Some upcoming Collision events for this month have sold under 1,000 tickets in a woeful omen for the new show, and things aren't looking much better outside the US. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that Canada's TSN has turned down the option to air Collision, despite some shows this month taking place in the country. Meltzer said that TSN didn't even agree to air the premiere episode as a one-off special, and things aren't any better outside of North America. While AEW All In London will be a huge show, there's no word on whether a Collision will be shown on TV in the UK, and it could be lumped onto the AEW Plus service. A lot is riding on Collision being a success, but things aren't looking good right now, and we'll have to wait and see whether the show's fortune changes after its premiere. When Roman Reigns retained the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania 39, fans were shocked, as they believed the show was the perfect time for his reign to end. Instead, Cody Rhodes failed to finish the story, and Reigns left LA with the gold, and many are wondering what's next for the Tribal Chief and his title. Reigns has not defended his title on TV since WrestleMania, and fans eager to see him dethroned anytime soon will likely be waiting for a long time. When BWE was asked about WWE's plans to dethrone Reigns, the proven WWE insider said that the company has no end date in sight, adding that his success has been a cash cow. Some have suggested that WrestleMania 40 will be the day Reigns loses the title, which would be a huge moment for the milestone show, but nothing is confirmed just yet. For Reigns' run as champion to be the longest ever, it'll have to surpass the 2,803-day reign of Bruno Sammartino, which would happen on May 4th, 2028, and while we doubt that'll happen, WWE is in no hurry to end this reign anytime soon. Earlier this week, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T made poorly received comments about Lacey Evans' recent repackaging, which has drawn comparisons to Sergeant Slaughter. Booker said how Evans was at risk of losing her sexiness, something that he said should never happen to women in wrestling, and his comments didn't go down well. Many even branded Booker a sexist and questioned why he's never spoken about male wrestlers not being sexy enough, and on the latest episode of his podcast, Booker tried to explain his comments. He said, "Let me just get this straight. This business, it's not just about wrestling. Wrestling is a part of it, but becoming a star. I've known a boatload of great wrestlers, guys that could wrap circles around me from a wrestling perspective. That's not what this thing is really all about. It's about entertaining the fans, making the fans feel a certain way, taking them on a journey that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. It's got so much more to do with it than just getting in the ring and wrestling. And if you think that way, you're going to be bruised, beat up, battered, and torn by the time your career is over with, and you're going to have no money. People that try to spin it," his comments about sex appeal, "but they've never been in the business before. They've never made money in the business. They've probably never been in any form of show business entertainment, so I don't put a whole lot of stock or weight into what people say when I do make a comment like that." Booker dared fans to try and name one popular female singer who did not have some kind of sex appeal, and do you think the two-time Hall of Famer has a point? Let us know down in the comments. For a while, WWE was promoting Elias as a possible major star of the future, but it's been a while since we've seen the former 24/7 champion receive any notable booking. It was during a lengthy hiatus in 2022 that Ezekiel, Elias's brother, made a brief appearance in WWE, and though the brothers never got the chance to team together, there's been a lot of questions about Elias's future. It was rumored last year that his deal with WWE was set to expire by the end of last year, and when Fightful Select asked WWE about things, the promotion refused to give an update on Elias's contract situation. We'll have to see what's next for Elias's WWE career, but for the time being, the man once called the Drifter in NXT is pretty aimless on WWE's main roster. We've got news from AAA now, as the Lucha promotion has just lost one of its top stars. On Facebook, Rush announced that effective immediately, both he and his father, La Bestia del Ring, would be leaving the company and would be independent performers until a real promoter gives them a contract. That comment led to speculation that something went down within AAA that has led to this decision, and it's worth stating that in the US, Rush remains under contract with AEW. Rush's sudden departure will no doubt be an issue for AAA, who will host their TripleMania Tijuana event next month, but that major show will have to go on ahead without someone who had been a top name. And we're ending today with Gunther, who this weekend reached one whole year as the WWE Intercontinental Champion. This is a milestone achievement by the Austrian, who could soon surpass the Honky Tonk Man for the longest IC title reign of all time, but this week saw Gunther join a very exclusive club. By reaching 365 days as Intercontinental Champion, Gunther has become the fourth man in WWE history to have held two titles for over a year. The leader of Imperium now joins Pedro Morales, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Roman Reigns, and these are certainly some high-profile names for Gunther to be associated with. With reports that WWE sees Gunther as a main event heel for the next decade, we doubt this will be his last taste of championship gold in WWE, but this weekend's record has proven to be historic in more ways than one.